Tom Aspinall. You don't really see that anywhere, full stop, but definitely not in the heavyweight division.
No heavyweight moves like him.
No one moves like him.
He moves like a 185er.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
That's crazy.
Wouldn't it be interesting if Tom came out and said, no, I'm not going to rematch him. He's a cheater. Why would I rematch a guy that already cheated, that violated not one of my eyes, but both? I gave him his chance. He chose to cheat, and I'm going to move on. If Tom took that stance, which he's not going to do, I'm saying, but for fun, I think he'd have a lot of people that supported him. For some reason, Ciryl has come out of this thing with his hands clean. He's the one that did the poking.
The MMA community is still buzzing after the stunning conclusion of UFC 321. The showdown between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane ended abruptly in a way that left fans heartbroken and divided. Now Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier have weighed in, offering their thoughts on what many are describing as one of the most frustrating endings we've seen in recent UFC memory.
It was really bad how it looks. And he said, you can't train your eyeball to be stronger. It is what it is. Protection here and here, but he obviously got no protection because fingers were straight in. The fight should have been stopped. He couldn't see. It was a foul. He couldn't see. Then he can't fight. You know, if he'd have got knocked out with a head kick next, then it would have been worse. I don't know. And then he said, sometimes when your eyes here like that, it can become displaced and stay there. And they did a few tests on that, and they said it doesn't seem like that. And his vision on the eye that's the best eye.
The best part about fouling, right, is that it works. So the best thing you can do is like keep your head in the game, and I'll do everything I can to manage shit.
All that training for that?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Trying to be okay, mate.
What the f is he doing?
The left one was really deep. The left one was really deep.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
got one twice before it.
Yeah,
Twice before he got one for it.
Mike Bisping, he lost his eye. It's just a horrendous thing to think as a parent, really. And I know what it's like these days with people saying what they want, but if it's just your son and they could lose an eye and their health and they've got children to look after, you know, something needs doing about it. Yeah, it's horrendous for me to look at that.
Because it went a few minutes. It doesn't mean in any way, shape or form here that Tom Aspinall was struggling. He fucking wasn't. Ciryl Gane's a good technical fighter. He was making it more difficult to catch him. But it wasn't like he was dishing out loads of punishment just because Tom had a bloody nose from a punch. Fucking Floyd Mayweather had a black eye from fucking Deji. A little bit of damage when you're in there throwing big fucking fists at each other is going to happen sometime. It does not reflect the way the fight is actually going. Little bit of blood. When, as long as you can breathe out that nose, you are fine. And it's this context that in the MMA and fight world, people just fucking ignore for some reason.
I saw Tom Aspinall on there land some nasty stuff too. I saw Tom Aspinall throw a high kick. I've never seen him throw a high kick, and it's partly because he's never had to throw a high kick. There are layers to these guys' games that we have to find only when they're fighting someone that not only deserves to be in there with them, but can extend them to a point where they have to use all of their weapons.
I mean, look, DC knows MMA. I'm not going to say he's talking total shit there, but I think if Tom Aspinall is being experimental in there and showing us things that he's not showing us before, I don't think for 1 second it's because I'm going to struggle here. I need to throw a high kick. I've never done that before. I don't think that's in his mind at all. He's so comfortable in there. He is showing more of his skill set that he has said he's been working on in the last year.
Cormier explained that injuries to the cornea or retina are no joke. One more clean shot after that kind of damage could mean permanent vision loss. It's not something any fighter, no matter how tough, should ever gamble with. The scene quickly spiraled into confusion. Fans booed from the stands, commentators tried to make sense of what happened, and officials ruled the bout a no contest, leaving the entire heavyweight picture uncertain. Rogan voiced what many were already thinking. This was supposed to be Tom Aspinall's moment, the night he proved himself as the top heavyweight on the planet. Instead, it ended in disappointment. Both Rogan and Cormier went on to analyze what had unfolded up to that point, and how things might have played out if the fight had continued. Aspinall had started strong, fast, precise, and aggressive, mixing sharp leg kicks with constant pressure that forced Gane backward and showcased
there on his back until John submitted him. Against the cage, Gane was sat there, not moving, not bucking, not shifting or fighting hands, sitting there like this until John locked up the guillotine on him. I'm very aware of what happened in that fight, and do I wish Tom would have finished him earlier? I do, without resistance. That was the ideal circumstance. for Tom Aspinall was to finish Ciryl Gane with no resistance in the first round. I think we see an overconfident Gane in the rematch, and I think Tom smokes him. But Tom was raging. So there's an emotional aspect to this rematch now that I'm worried about, because I've been looking for Bully Tom to make an appearance for a very long time, you guys. For a very long time, I've been waiting for Bully Tom to make an appearance. And he made the appearance on, what the fuck you guys booing me for? He genuinely made an appearance in the post-fight speech. The fuck you guys booing me for? I got fucking double eye poked. A double eye poke landed. Insane. Crazy. Horrible result for the main event. Worst case scenario. All things come together. It's weird how MMA works, is it not? Dirtiest fighter on the heavyweight roster, Ciryl Gane, constantly cheats every single fight. He's a dirty little French cunt. John Jones is the nemesis of Tom Aspinall.
During the post-fight analysis, Joe Rogan was clearly taken aback as the replay revealed Ciryl Gane's fingers making direct contact with Tom Aspinall's eye, not once, but twice. The second poke appeared deep enough to cause immediate pain and visible damage. Rogan summed it up by noting that you could see how far the finger went in, something no fighter can just walk off. It's a legitimate injury. Daniel Cormier quickly echoed that sentiment, emphasizing that eye pokes like this can change the course of a fighter's career. Having experienced combat at the elite level himself, Cormier reminded viewers that anyone suggesting Aspinall could have fought on simply doesn't grasp how serious that kind of injury is.
It was deep. Ciryl Gane was looking so good in that first round. Tom Aspinall's nose was bleeding. Ciryl was landing with that jab. I got a heavyweight. You go in there, and a lot of the times a heavyweight, you see you guys not really engage too much because it takes one punch, especially from two big punches like that. And Tom was kind of pushed, like coming forward. Ciryl was landing beautiful jabs, circling around. He won that round. Both those guys, for being heavyweight, can move so well on their feet. God, that was going to be such a sweet fight. And I thought Tom was going to go out there and kind of run through Ciryl. That was going to be a very interesting fight. I mean, I guess running it back makes sense. Post-fight reaction from Tom Aspinall. What the fuck you booing? I'm the one that got poked in the fucking eye. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not the one that fucking poked him. I get it, you're frustrated. I don't think the fans weren't booing at Tom for not continuing. I don't think the fans are booing because, you know, it sucks. It's the main event. You want to see a fight. But every time like a first reaction happens, a nut shot, an eye poke, you don't think it's, all right, it's going to get stopped.
I'm being real now. Both fingers, both of his eyes at once. Was it looking to be a decent scrap compared to a demolition? Yes. But both fingers, both eyes at once.
Is he gonna wrestle? Can he compete with Ciryl Gane on his feet for 25 minutes? And I don't get any of those answers, and just like everybody at home, I'm disappointed.
Being poked in the eye is illegal, Brendan, but to fight with one eye is very common. The opponent's trying to hit your eye. He's trying to bust up and make your nose bleed. So that part of it does have question for guys like Anthony and I. We're trying to be polite. We're trying to show grace. But in all fairness, if you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you got to fight with one eye at times.
It was a significant eye poke. It wasn't like a little scratch.
Yeah.
It was, they went in. They were proper eye pokes, and Tom clearly was in a lot of pain. There's people saying online, well, he was saying multiple times, I can't see. If he wanted to continue, he shouldn't be saying that. The reality is, if he can't see...
Tell the truth.
If you can't see, you're allowed to say you can't see. People might point to me and say, well, you fought with one eye. Yeah, that was a secret because I shouldn't have been fighting. You know, Tom is the champion of the world. He doesn't want to go out there when his vision is impaired or vision is massively affected and potentially lose a fight that was shaping up to be a difficult fight. Ciryl Gane was on point tonight. He was looking good. We saw the damage on Tom's face. This was not an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination. He didn't want to continue with his vision damaged or not being able to see, so I don't blame him. The crowd were upset. I get that. They were frustrated. They've flown in from other countries. They've spent a lot of money. They've bought tickets, and the fight ends like that. I don't think the frustration was on Tom. I think the crowd was just annoyed at the situation.
Despite the early momentum from Aspinall, Gane remained composed and strategic. He began settling into his rhythm, answering with crisp counters and maintaining perfect range control. Cormier pointed out that for the first time in a while, Tom was facing an opponent who could truly match his movement and spatial awareness. Rogan added that the matchup was turning into a technical showcase between two elite heavyweights. Both analysts agreed this wasn't a mismatch. It was shaping up to be a calculated, high-level battle between two of the best in the sport. When the conversation turned to what comes next, both Rogan and Cormier had firm opinions. Rogan pushed for an immediate rematch, saying the fans deserved closure. You can't let a fight of this magnitude end that way, he argued. This was supposed to define the next era of the heavyweight division. Cormier took a more cautious stance, noting that Tom first needs time to recover. But when he does return, DC insisted the UFC owes him the chance to reclaim what was taken from him that night. Rogan also called out some of the online criticism aimed at Aspinall, saying it was absurd for anyone to accuse him of quitting. You can't call someone a quitter when they're standing there half blind, Rogan said with conviction. Tom's proven his toughness countless times. He didn't look for a way out. He waited over a year for this shot, and it ended because of an accident. Now the big question is what comes next. Will the UFC book the rematch fans are demanding, or will Dana White, as he's hinted before, move on to other contenders, leaving Aspinall waiting once again? Whatever the decision, one thing is certain. That eye poke will be remembered as one of the most controversial moments in heavyweight history. As Rogan summed it up to close the night, this sport can be unforgiving. Sometimes it's not the punch you prepare for that changes everything. It's the one you never see coming.